All right, I'm interrupting my normal video schedule this week for this announcement. Well, this video in particular. It seems that the WGA and also the AMPTP has come to a tentative agreement. And with that agreement comes the end of the writer's strike. That means 146 days after the day that this strike began, May 2nd, they've come to a possible contract. It hasn't been written up and nothing has been signed. And so no one's back to work yet. No writing is being done, but also the writers are done being on the picket line for themselves. That doesn't mean they're done picketing, because obviously if the writers have a contract and nothing's been announced for the actors, somebody's still striking. The actors supported the writers, and so of course we're going to scratch each other's back. The writers are back on the picket line as of today, fighting to make sure that the actors also get a fair contract. Now, what's in this contract that has inspired the writers to end their strike after such a grueling summer? Well, the specifics are kind of being kept under lock and key. After all, like I said, nothing's been signed. And so there's been a press blackout for now. However, there are some things that we do know. Reports that have come out so far say that there have been an increase in wages, and there will be new regulations on the use of AI in the future. One of the final points that was being discussed as of Sunday. The writer's room was also a big problem. There's been fewer and fewer, sometimes only one person, writing our stories. And so a minimum number of staff in the writing room is also part of that agreement. One other thing being discussed is a success-based residual for the writers. This could all increase their income and truly make it a more fair wage. All in all, these points will help bring the writers up to a more fair wage for the time and effort put into creating these amazing stories for us. Now, of course, this does not mean that the actors are done striking. In fact, there have been no discussions for the writers and their contract. The good thing is that the writers having a contract may mean that there will be a more fair template to be worked on for the actors than that director's template that the producers were trying to use for everybody. Of course, regardless, there will still be a time of negotiation, and we don't know if the actors' strike will end more quickly or if it could be another 150 days before they get a contract as well. There is unfortunately no good metric for measuring how much this will affect the television and movie industry's future. Though we could see late night television and afternoon talk shows come back very soon. It could be at least until the summer of 2024 before new movies start coming out that hadn't already been completed before all of this started. And as far as our television series, we'll be lucky to get new seasons by the beginning of next fall. Now, this agreement does need to be written up in contract form, and it does need to be voted on by both boards for the East and West Coast writers. But this is a promising piece of news. Everyone does seem, for the most part, happy with the points that have been agreed upon, and now it just takes a vote of the 11,500 members of the WGA. Those votes should be taking place today, though, so we could have news as soon as this evening. Not sure if I'll be able to pop in another video, but I'll do my best. What this means for the shows that you come here to hear about, well, for Outlander, it means that actually production could get underway fairly quickly. If you've watched my earlier videos, you know that because of Equity UK, our actors, the ones that belong to SAG-AFTRA, will be able to get underway on production in Scotland. It's kind of this great deal that allows the actors of the SAG to work on European and such without having to worry about the problems going back on in the US, because we wouldn't want to hold up European productions because of an American workers union issue. However, I will say that there's been enormous support from the Outlander crew and the Outlander cast. If you've followed any of them on Instagram or again checked in on here, I've mentioned that they haven't really posted much on Instagram or TikTok or any other social media to promote their show. It's their way of supporting the actors and writers who are trying to get a fair wage now. And they're that much closer now, so it is working. That could mean that any finishing touches for part 2 of season 7 could be done by the few people who couldn't be part of it before. And it also means that production of season 8 could get underway quickly, because as soon as those scripts are written, the actors are going to be ready and raring to go. Now, as soon as I hear production is underway on Outlander, I will let you know. I assume that the writers, as soon as they're able, will be getting back to work. However, until that contract is written and signed, it's not quite going to be now. As for our other productions, it's going to be a little while. For Star Trek, some work on live action can be done, however, not nearly as much as we'd hope. No filming can truly resume, of course, until the actors also have an agreement. But at least they'll be able to start working on some of those shows and movies that we've heard should be coming out soon. Heck, maybe we'll hear more about Legacy soon. But that's just my hope. Check out some of my Legacy stuff here, just because I'm going to put in a plug. But that could mean that shows like Legacy, that were kind of put aside as the strike continued, could come out into the open and be discussed, possibly even have production begin on that as well. And about those actors, well, they joined those writers in July and they are still striking themselves. As I said, it could be some time before they are back at it. So I'm going to once again make a request for assistance. Below you'll find several links that are going to work towards making sure that those actors are able to stay on the picket line, with the writers now joining them in support. We want to make sure they're able to pay their regular bills, eat, live with a roof over their head, get their medical bills taken care of, just basic life stuff. So if you've got a little to spare and do believe that the actors deserve to get a fair wage for the work and effort they put towards entertaining us on a regular basis, then please hit one of those links below and do what you can. And of course, spread the word. The strike may be over for the writers, but it's going to be an ongoing issue until everyone has a fair contract that recognizes the differences in media now and how it's distributed. Thanks so much for checking out this video real quick. Now, my next videos should be back to normal. Star Trek, Outlander. I've actually been thinking of doing reviews of other shows I've been binging. But for now, if you want to see any more Outlander or Star Trek content, please check out one of these videos and I'll see you there.